What's going on, YouTube? Well, it's 2025 and people are still buying arcade one-ups. It is what it is, guys. So, for you people that are unfamiliar, Arcade One-Up is a company that sells usually three-quarter size arcades. Now, in general, these were amazing looking. The really cool idea, and I remember when they first were delivered and brought out, people were going nuts. They were selling everywhere. Walmart, freaking Best Buy, literally everywhere retail. They were selling like crazy. And then one day they just kind of started dissipating. Now, my Walmart hasn't had them for a few years now. I don't even think you can't even buy them in the general area around here. I think the only thing they have for sale are the risers, and those are even tucked away. And now I've done videos in the past about how disappointed I was and the two I had, and really just in general about how disappointing the company is to me as a consumer and just in general. So a little back history on it. I had a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, which had Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, our Ultimate on it. And then I also had a Pac-Man Anniversary Collection, which had a bunch of different Pac-Man games on it. Had a lit marquee and everything like that. It was what the kids call lit AF, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the one thing that these cabinets did have was they did look cool in the game room. Now, that might be the only thing that they had to me in general. Like I said, I've had people in the past that have wanted to burn, that had torches coming after me, wanting to lynch me because of all this talk about why I don't like these arcade cabinets. And obviously there's a lot of people out there that somewhat shill for this company, but it's all up to, you know, who you are and if you enjoy this kind of thing. So a lot of people, I grew up playing some of these games in the arcade, so I remember how great they were. And when I had gotten these cabinets, I got them around the same time, so I really didn't get to experience them much beforehand. And the Pac-Man one I enjoyed, maybe because of the simplistic controls. You know, all you really had was left, right, up, down. And most Pac-Man games, that's all you really needed. And then on top of it, I think it had Galaga on it, or yeah, Galaga. So yeah, that was side to side, hit the button to shoot. So for the most part, that one was cool. But the Mortal Kombat one was horrible to me. Most of the time when I'd push forward, the game would mistake it sometimes and make me jump. And then when I was trying to do simple controls like Sub-Zero's Freeze Blast and stuff like that, it would take 4 or 5 attempts before I could do it. Meanwhile, on a Super Nintendo or any kind of other console like that, I could literally do it blindfolded and do it multiple times in a row without even having to look. Now, I've heard this too about other people getting these consoles. But what we're going to do now is, I'm not making this video just to, you know, the rag on Arcade One-Up. I had recently sold them. And if you guys are interested in more in hearing more about why I don't like the Arcade One-Ups, I have, like I said, I got a couple videos in the past. One's done pretty well. But like I said, I'm just not into them. So why did I sell them? They literally have sat down in this game room since I've got them. I think the only person that was ever making an effort to play them was my youngest son. And yeah, he would only really play the Pac-Man one because he was in the 6-year-old range, so we really didn't want him playing too much Mortal Kombat yet, just for being that age. And he'd have a good 5 to 10 minutes of fun with it and then be done, which is understandable. But otherwise, nobody in the house was playing them. And like I said, yeah, sure, they looked cool down in the game room. They had more of that game room ambiance or whatever you want to say. But they in general were having no use here. And in fact, they were only 3/4 size. But they were taking up more room than I'd like. And I know there's been a few people in the comments that keep asking, you know, where's the arcade cabinets? And well, guys, I had enough of them. So why would I never buy them again? Like I said, they're just, I think in general, to me, like I said, this is not saying anything to anybody else. If you like them, then that's all on you guys. I mean, I'm not saying that you should never buy them. I'm just saying that I personally probably never buy them again because I don't like the quality. I didn't like the way they were. Now, and especially nowadays when I see the prices that these things are going up to, it's crazy. But I know there is some avid collectors of them out there, and there's some people out there that actually like to enjoy them. But I personally would never buy them again, just from the bad taste in my mouth here. And I've had people tell me, well, you didn't invest in better joysticks or better button controls, or stuff like that. And I'm sorry, guys, but if I just dropped $400 to $500 or something on something like this, I shouldn't have to invest in making it better. That's the same price as a freaking like Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, and technically I don't have to invest in that to make it playable, if you know what I mean. I don't have to take the time and effort to put a bunch of money into it because it's just ready to go. I mean, yeah, I gotta buy games for it, but ask any normal person, would you rather spend $500 on a PS5, an Xbox Series X, or even a Switch and a bunch of games, or for a cabinet that can only have like one game on it? Technically. Some of them have multiple games on it, I'll give you that. But I would personally never waste the money buying them again because they're just not worth it in my eyes to me. What I ended up using the money for, what I basically just talked about. I sold both cabinets. I think I got $250 for the Pac-Man one, plus I think I had the stool with it that somebody gifted it to me for Christmas one year. So I had the stool that went with it for like $250, and then I had somebody that bought the Mortal Kombat one for $200. So I mean, there was $450 I was able to get back from my purchases in the past. Well, the Mortal Kombat one we purchased, but the Pac-Man one I actually won at a work raffle where we do charity every year. You pledge a certain amount of your check, you get raffle tickets, you put them in a thing, and I ended up winning the Pac-Man one. So what I used that money for was to get an Xbox Series X, which I've been wanting for a while. I've talked in the past to you guys about how I traded stuff in, I've sold stuff from my collection, trying to build a nice trade-in credit at my local game store, so that way when a Series X would ever pop in there, I could just use credit to buy it without actually paying out of pocket. So it was very nice when I was actually finding some really nice people that will actually probably play these cabinets, unlike me. And so one was actually sold to a coworker, and she was an older lady that was really wanting something for her grandkids to play when they came over. And I've talked to her since then, and she said that they absolutely love it, and they're playing it every time they come over, which was good for me to hear because, like I said, it was just, they were just sitting down here. I'd turn them on occasionally for maybe a background for videos, but otherwise they were not getting played. So the fact that now somebody's actually playing them is amazing. Otherwise, for the Mortal Kombat one, it was just some random person from Facebook from a local town, so haven't heard much about that, but I'm assuming it was a group of guys that came and got it, so I'm guessing they wanted it for their little bachelor pad, so it was all cool. So I ended up using that money to finally get the Series X I've been wanting for a while. And I've been talking about how here pretty soon I'm going to be investing in some Game Pass a little bit so I can play games like Indiana Jones and stuff like that, which I've been looking really forward to playing. And then lastly, we've kind of hinted on this a little bit throughout the video, but I just kind of still put it down as kind of a little reminder to talk about the end. And yes, this is probably a term that's thrown around too much, but should you waste your money on these cabinets in the future? And saying it like that seems harsh, and it is a little harsh. Like I said, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I personally did not enjoy it, but you shouldn't take my word for it. With anything, I would definitely recommend that you get some hands-on experience playing a cabinet and stuff like that before you make your purchase, because it is a big investment. Like I said, they are not cheap, anywhere from the $500-$600 range. You get those things, you get them home, you put them together, you go to play it, and you're like, man, I like this at all. Yeah, you could try to take it back and stuff like that, but you've already got it put together. So then you just try to resell it and take a hit in the money. But I don't know. Like I said, with anything like this, I think I was a little bit more harsh on Arcade 1-Up in the past, telling people not to waste their money on it. But if you could get the chance, I think you should probably try to play one first, especially the one you're planning on purchasing. So don't get me wrong. Like I said, people have talked to me and not necessarily probably shills for the company that will say no matter what, you know, that it's a good product no matter what, even if you can prove them wrong and it's not. But I think there are people out there that do enjoy these cabinets, and I think, you know, the reliving, maybe they're experiencing something that I wished I would have experienced through it, and that was just the nostalgia of playing back in an arcade. But like I said, I had played the original cabinets, and it just wasn't the same for me. And I kind of almost wish I would have held on to one of the cabinets just to mod and maybe mess around with. But then I'm more happy now that I got rid of them and I have a Series X. Because even my wife we tossed it back and forth because she was like, well, you know, it looks so cool down there. Are you going to regret it? And I was just like, I don't know. And she's like, well, just think about it. And I weighed out my options, man. And it really came down to is I would much rather have the Series X than the cabinets just sitting down here looking cool. So we went over playability over functionality is kind of what I'm going at here. So you know what, I want to know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Do you happen to have any arcade 1-ups? I've seen somebody, you know, like I said, I've seen people that enjoy them. I'm not saying that, you know, maybe I just got some bad cabinets, I guess. But I never liked how the company would just seem to release every year the same cabinets. I swear, I got the first round of Mortal Kombat cabinets, and I feel like there's been like 4 or 5 releases since then. And it just seems ridiculous to me, you know, if they're not getting any more licensing and they're just rehashing out what they have. And then these guys are going out there and just buying the new ones. And it's kind of cool to see some of them stuff they're trying to do. I see now they're trying to do like a claw machine and stuff like that, which I'm a pro at the claw machine. I love that. I love those stupid claw machines. But I don't know if I'd actually purchase one for my home. I think it'd be cool to have, and I think that's the problem with the traps of these cabinets sometimes. They're cool. They look like they're cool to have, but you need to really understand if you're going to actually play them or not. And I think, yeah, a claw machine down here would be cool at first, but then after a while it might get a little old. So, but I want to know what you guys think about this subject. Are you guys, you know, do you guys have any arcade 1-up cabinets, and what do you guys think of it? And in general too, like, do you think it was worth it to really sell something that obviously I'm not going to enjoy to, you know, play something I'm actually going to enjoy? I know there'll be the people that comment, oh, he's just looking for somebody to justify selling his cabinets to make him feel better. And I guess so. If that's it and it helps boost my ego when it comes to that, sweet, guys. But otherwise, I want to know what you guys think, because that's what this community is all about. I get up here, I do these videos, I talk about something, and I always want to know what you guys think too. So if it's a negative comment like that, by all means, shoot, go for it. But in general, I'm happy where I am right now, and I sometimes, just like I said, the only regret I had is maybe not messing around with one of those arcade cabinets just to put it up there. But like somebody said before, though, in one of those comments, it's like, I can just find schematics online or dimensions to have my own cabinet, and just even hire somebody to cut one out and put it together myself. And I can always make my own cabinet with a CRTV and a Nintendo with an EverDrive and a couple NES Advantage sticks, and I'd be good to go. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay retro, my friends, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless, guys.